Welcome to Vision Plus, a program featuring a positive outlook, dealing with everyday situations of marriage, children, and business. Believing Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Teacher, author, speaker, delighting audiences from New York to Sacramento with a heart and message for the people today. Bonnie would like to remind you of the 800 number on the screen. Please feel free to call at any time throughout the broadcast and share your concerns. Leave your prayer request, and someone will pray with you. And now, teacher, author, and speaker, Bonnie.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Vision Plus. You know what the good book says, without a vision the people perish. Well, you know what? There's been a lot of things going on in the last 3 or 4 years, and especially it has to do with our time. We have not enough time for part of our lifetime when we're really busy doing a job, raising children. I had 3 children and in college and doing a job. Or you retire and you have too much time. So what can we do? You know what the good book says. What we're going to do today is show you what it says in Romans 4:17, and that is, calleth those things which be not as if they are. And if you hop right over to Philippians 4 and 8, it talks about whatever things are true, of a good report, or honest, think on these things. And I made an acronym that I use at church, and true, I think that's the time. But the age for honesty is your health. And that's one of the things we want to learn about today is our health. Because so many people, as you've heard, they spend their lifetime making money. And they spend the golden years using that money to get back their health. Now, wouldn't it be great if we did what our guest today has done, and that is to combine the two, where you have good health and you also make, as you know, one of our guests was a $250,000 person. That's over $20,000 a month. I like that plan. Okay, I want you to help me welcome from the beautiful state of Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, is Denson Taylor. Now, I kidded Denson. I said, now, Denson Taylor's my maiden name. We might be cousins, so we just call each other cousin now. But Denson has had health issues. As most of you know, I had open heart surgery. Tony had open heart surgery and all kinds of health challenges. And what do? You want to keep your energy up and your mental energy, and this guy has some answers. Welcome, Denson.
Thank you, cousin.
I want you to tell me, first of all, about your health challenges.
Right, okay. Well, with me, I had never been in a hospital ever other than having tonsils out when I was about 6 years old.
Yeah, me too.
So I was blessed. I'm 44 years old, and within the last year, as a matter of fact, I had a situation where it was an electrical issue with my heart, and it actually ended up out of rhythm. And when that happens, like with me, it's called atrial flutter. So the top chambers of the heart started a very rapid beat. The bottom chambers tried to match it, and I guess it sent air to my brain, and I passed out. So it's almost like God turned the light off on me, and I was just out. I was just out. I didn't know I was in the world for about a minute. And then I came to. And once I got to the emergency room, they kept me, and they ended up, I ended up in the hospital for about a week and a half.
Wow.
They ran every test that you could imagine. I mean, I took so many tests, I thought I was going to have to take an algebra test next. It was incredible, but the doctors ended up, I remember them standing at the end of my bed, and their deal was that it was just a big puzzle because all of my numbers were perfect, and they said it's no rhyme or reason. But we talk to people all the time, like we're in the midst of a health crisis right now, as you know.
That's true.
Absolutely. Heart disease is the #1 killer in the world. In fact, with heart disease, elevated blood pressure is one of the first signs. And
Yes.
believe it or not, 1 in every 3 people in America today has high blood pressure.
That's right. That's true.
Absolutely. And so many people are affected with it that we think it's not a big deal. I never had an issue with that. 1 in every 4 people is affected with cancer today. It's the second top killer.
Yes.
Now take a wild guess. What would you say? What would you think is the third leading cause of death in America today?
I'm going to let you tell me because I'm not sure. I should remember since I've heard you lecture before about that.
I hate to say this, but it's America's healthcare system.
That's true.
Absolutely.
You know, that's true.
Absolutely.
Because my daughter has breast cancer and she is having a time with what they're doing as far as doctors are concerned. They did all of the surgery and the chemo and the radiation.
Right.
And just as she's getting settled down after 6 years with this doctor, they now tell her, no, she has to go back and get recertified to use that same doctor and have another person. So it's just unbelievable what we're going through.
Yes, and then prescription drug medications have a lot to do with it as well. The
And
problem,
they're giving the wrong things, I think,
absolutely,
a lot of times.
absolutely. See, most people think that the Food and Drug Administration is there for our protection, and I don't have anything against FDA, but drugs are typically approved without any proof of effectiveness or harm that they'll cause people. So that's a real serious problem. And then diabetes is on the rise to where we're on track within the next 10 years to 1 in every 3 people being affected with diabetes. So
and high cholesterol, which causes some of those.
absolutely, absolutely high cholesterol. And I never knew, and I never thought about this. I mean, we would talk to people all the time about heart disease and the effects of it. Like many people, the only symptom of having heart disease for some people is a drop dead with a heart attack. Okay, they don't get any kind of warning. It's a silent killer. Well, we would talk to people about that, but I never understood the seriousness of it until I ended up in the cardiac ward myself. Now, I remember one of my nurses telling me, Mr. Taylor, you're the only healthy person up here. And I ended up going through a procedure where they went in and did something called an ablation to stop the extra electrical activity. Well, while they were in doing that procedure, they were able to induce the bottom chambers of my heart to go into that irregular beat. So they were concerned about that. So they did another procedure. Well, with those procedures, I remember when they did the major one. Now I come out of heart surgery, if you can imagine. They gave me a turkey sandwich to eat, and which
White
was okay.
bread,
It was
probably.
it was on wheat, but you know what they gave me to drink? An ice cold Coke.
Oh my, we did that. I saw you do that demonstration, or Liz Hawk, where what happens in the Coke in your
Absolutely.
body. So tell me a little bit
Okay.
about what happens there.
Yeah, what we've learned is, we've done a lot of studying about this, but what we've learned is it's all about alkalinity in the body. I never thought about this, but you know this, we've all learned it. Your body is over 70% water.
Yes.
Okay, your blood is over 80% water. Your brain is over 80% water. Your major organs over 80% water. So I want you to, let's just take the blood for instance. Have you ever made pancakes for your kids in the morning?
Yes.
Okay, all right, I'm sure you have. Now, what would happen, let's say you're mixing that batter and you put less water in it. What happens to the batter?
Too thick.
Too thick, it thickens, right?
Yes.
Well, when you don't hydrate your body at the cellular level, that causes the blood to thicken. When you consume beverages that contain caffeine, like coffee, tea, soda, all the things that we consume on a daily basis that we think are innocent, they pull fluids from the body. Now, you have to really look at your body as almost an aquarium, all right, almost a fish tank, because you're 70 to 80% water. Your cells are literally trillions of fish that are swimming in your body. Okay, so if you've ever had a fish tank and your fish
Yes.
ended up sick,
Yes.
what did you do? You didn't try to operate on the fish.
No, got them fresh water
There you go.
and right food.
There you go. So if you got that pH right in the water, it fixed the problem.
Yes.
Well, we have to look at our bodies as environments, and this is what we learn. Your body can be in one of two environments. It can be in an acidic environment, or it can be an alkaline environment. Well, disease thrives in acidic environments. Okay, so your good cells, the ones that defend your body, they can't live in an acidic environment. So when we consume things like sodas and coffees and teas and juices and even some bottled waters are acidic, that's the root of all disease, and that's what we found. When your body is over acidic, it looks for places to store that excess acid. One place is in the arteries of your heart. That's where cholesterol, that's the root cause of it. Another place is in your joints. It's called arthritis. It's called gout. Your body, believe it or not, over 65% of people in America are overweight right now.
I heard a story that you told one time. How much weight have you lost over the years?
I've lost over 1,000 pounds. Yeah, and I know you all are looking like, wow.
How did that happen?
Well, I tried a lot of different fad diets. Okay, I remember on the Atkins diet, it told me that I could eat as much meat as I wanted, as long as I didn't eat a potato. I could eat cheese. Okay, now meat is very acidic. It's an acid-forming food. Cheese is an acid-forming food, so that you could drink all of the diet Cokes that you want. Yeah. Well, when you look at acid versus alkalinity, a Diet Coke is the most acidic thing, or a diet soda is the absolute most acidic thing that you can ever consume. So as we consume these things, the body's just going to pull minerals from your bones that it's not capable of reproducing. So there's a gentleman by the name of Dr. Linus Pauling. He's a 2-time Nobel Prize winner, and he determined this back in the early 1900s. Published. What he determined was this: you can trace every disease, every sickness, and every ailment to a mineral deficiency in the body.
Whoa!
It's
Every
very
disease.
simple.
And how does that happen?
Well, your body, when you consume acidic things, it must alkalize it. So if you take a soda, it's 100,000 times more acidic than your blood. So your body's going to work to keep your blood at a pH balance of 7.365. Now, any variation from that, you'll have serious problems. Well, let's say you innocently drink a soda. Then your body goes into a trauma state and it pulls minerals from the bones. Well, it can't replenish those minerals. And that is where the problem comes in, because we cannot keep up with it. Like, I used to drink probably 5 or 6 sodas every day. I would drink a couple of white chocolate mochas every day. And one thing that I found was this: my body was in an acidic state. And what it would do is God gave your body a natural defense against toxins and acid, and that is to produce fat cells to protect your vital organs. But if you control what goes on in the body and you feed it alkalinity, okay, alkaline forming foods are fresh fruits and vegetables, grains and nuts and those type things. You feed it that kind of thing, even alkaline water. Your body, if you get it in an alkaline state, it will automatically, okay, it's designed by God to burn fat cells for energy. And that's what I found. A friend of mine lost over 120 pounds in less than a year. And after that year, when I saw him, I literally did not know him. You know this gentleman, Ronnie Webb. I literally
In fact,
did
he
not
should
know
be
him.
on the following week.
Right. Well, I tell you what, you guys will
television.
get a kick out of seeing this gentleman, because unbelievable what now he probably lost 10,000 pounds. Over
I
his
saw
lifetime.
him 8 or 10 years ago, and he came in with Liz Hawk in my house, and I thought, that man looks familiar to me.
Right.
I think I might know his dad or his older brother,
Wow,
because
yeah.
he looked so much, his face was more slender and he was handsome. And
Right.
I remember him as really over 300 pounds.
Oh, yeah,
And
absolutely.
when they told me his name, I thought, I'm not sure this could be true. So how did he do that? And
Well-
how did you quit losing? How did you'd say you'd lose 30 pounds and gain 40, lose 40 pounds.
Right. Because like with the Atkins diet, I was actually consuming acid-forming foods. I was drinking acid-forming beverages. So when I went back to eating the right, normally my body's natural defense was to produce more fat cells because I put my body into an acidic state. So that, and then acid actually, I mean, you could be one to work out all the time and you'll hit a plateau in your weight loss simply because you're creating lactic acid. And, I don't care what kind of acid it is, you may get stressed out and your body may produce cortisol. Well, that's acid, and your body's going to protect your organs. Now, if it doesn't, like you're a small person, you probably never had a weight issue. You have to be very careful.
I have to watch every day of my life. I do. My grandmother weighed 107 in her wedding picture, and when I knew her, she was over 300 pounds. I said, "Grandmother, how did you get to this from this?" She said, "Good old country cooking."
There we
and
go.
I knew a biscuit and gravy and sausage and things like that. And
yes.
probably didn't have too many Cokes at the time, but she had plenty of coffee and tea and
Yes.
all the other things. And she lived on that.
Well,
I remember recipes that would say
Yeah.
a half a cup of lard,
Oh, yeah.
Lard, and I thought, oh
But see,
my.
there are so many steroids and antibiotics. See, farming is not a farming business anymore. It's turned
No.
into an engineering business. And in fact, when you talk to Ronnie, he used to be a chicken farmer. He'd have 50, 60,000 chickens at one time. And he said that they would grow a baby chick to adulthood in something crazy, like a couple of weeks.
Wow.
Because of what they fed them.
Oh,
Well,
my goodness.
what we do and why obesity is so
Rampant.
yeah, it's growing at such a rate is because we're feeding our kids. Like our motto in our organization right now is changing the health of a generation, because we're literally losing a generation because the nutrients aren't in the foods that are available to us. And then farming has become an engineering business where it's just all about the bottom line dollar. I watched a program once and there was a gentleman there and he was talking about chickens, now, and he said he'd much rather have a chicken that he could grow in 2 weeks than one he could grow in 6 months, because he can sell it and make more money in a more rapid pace. And what I've noticed is, like you may eat a piece of chicken and notice that the bone crumbles or breaks. That's because it's not a free range
Chicken anymore.
There you go. They keep them in a dark environment. They're not active at all. And I passed a chicken truck one time and all of them were the same color. All of them were white, no variation whatsoever. So it's a cloning process almost, which is not healthy. We consume what they consume if we eat them.
That's right.
Yeah.
So how do you overcome this and compensate for this, Denson?
What obviously what you want to do is be conscious as to what you put in your temple.
Yeah, because we are the temple of the Holy Spirit.
Absolutely.
And so I remember my grandfather he loved the Lord with all his heart, and all I can remember, I must have been 2, 1.5, he would cross his legs and take me on one of his feet and bounce up and down. He'd say, we go to ride a horse, you can go to town, and we buy apples and oranges, and we don't buy any candy,
Right,
and so there was generations where they
Right.
knew that to eat healthy food was a good thing.
Right.
And he was slender like you, maybe not quite as tall, but he was slender.
Yeah.
And I was saying the other night, I was watching Lawrence Welk, and I said, how refreshing. They're all refreshingly slender.
Right.
And you go to other countries, I've taught in the Philippines, not a fat person there.
Right.
Yeah,
I
and
know.
they eat things right off the tree it's grown naturally.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to think about this.
So what are we going to do? What are we going to do here in Alabama and across the world?
I'll tell you what we're doing, because what we understand is this. God put us here. Okay, God made our bodies. God designed us. And he also put what we need here on earth, okay, to stay healthy. So the body is designed to be able to repair itself if it's given the right thing. In fact, let me ask you this. If you were to drive your car year after year without ever changing the oil,
Well,
what would
first
you
I'd get
expect?
beat up by my husband. No,
Okay.
and
There we go.
also the people at the Lexus dealership wouldn't allow me to come back because
Yeah.
they say, "No, we told you 2 years ago to be back for the oil
You
change."
wouldn't drive it year after
No,
year
you
because
wouldn't,
you would
'cause
expect it.
it would die.
It would die.
That's
Okay,
right.
so what we do as an organization is this. Okay, we're on a crusade, as a matter of fact, with this, and what we're trying to do is educate people to better health. All right, educate them to things that they can do to give themselves better health. Now, what we found is this: heart disease is the #1 killer, cancer is the second top killer, obesity, diabetes, they're third
And the
and
healthcare
fourth.
system.
Healthcare system, absolutely. But all of these things have one thing in common: they're largely preventable. All right, so it all has to do with
That
what.
makes you feel really sad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that it's
Absolutely.
preventable, and we've allowed our families.
Do you know that there was a study done? There are over 600 known contaminants in tap water that can cause heart disease and cancer and all of these major diseases.
tap water?
In tap water. Okay, now it's almost a double-edged sword. Well, there was a study done. Our company actually sponsored a study that was done on water, and what they determined is this: if we could put America on a soft water that contained minerals, we could save over 150,000 lives a year from people dying from heart disease. So that is major, So what we do is this: we use a product. In fact, I don't drink water. Believe it or not, bottled water. You think about bottled water. It's a $60+ billion a year industry now. Okay, and that is because of the concerns of tap water. Well, this is information that people need to know. If you ever leave a bottle of just a regular bottle of water in your car and it heats up, do not drink it, because it's been linked to breast cancer with women. It leaches contaminants back into the bottle that can cause disease.
No, that's a plastic bottle.
Now, this is
Or it
a
looks
BPA-free bottle here, and what that means is that this particular bottle won't leach. So you have to be very careful, because this is my deal about the bottle. Okay, I might have a bottle of water in my car. I don't know where that bottle was before it actually got to me.
Right.
So it could have heated up in a warehouse. It could have heated up on a truck, in transportation there. But I don't know where it was. Well, what we do is this: we have a mineral bag. Okay, it's called a sachet that we put into the water.
Looks like a tea bag to me.
Yeah, looks like a little tea bag, and you just simply drop it into the water that you already drink. And it does three things that are very significant. It actually raises the alkalinity, so it turns the water into alkaline water. It turns it into an alkaline ionized water, and it actually puts over 70 organic trace minerals back into the water.
Which is what our
So,
body needs. Those
Absolutely.
trace minerals.
And being ionic, it goes straight to the cellular level. Now, this is what's so amazing. We started putting people on these products, I guess, about 7 or 8 months ago. And all of a sudden, within 30 days, I was having people come back saying blood pressure hadn't been that perfect in 20 or 30 years.
My husband, his blood pressure is normal now. And it's
Wow.
only been less than a month
There
that
we
he's
go.
been drinking this.
Wow.
And the amazing thing
Unbelievable.
is, in his lifetime, he didn't want to drink water.
Yeah.
And now he is drinking it. He keeps that bottle with him all the time. And when you see it, it's about down here almost empty. And
Well-
so he it's just amazing how much that you can drink. I hear lots of people that never drink water, maybe a lot of soft drinks, a
Right.
lot of coffee or tea, and yet they will now drink the water because it tastes
Absolutely.
refreshing.
Yeah, and I'll tell you
It does.
another thing that it does is, and this I was amazed to find this particular part of it out. All right, your body asks for water first.
It does.
If you don't properly hydrate it, then it'll ask you for a soda. It'll ask you for a cup of coffee. It'll ask you for a bag of chips. Okay.
A bag of chips.
Yeah, I mean, it'll crave
There's
things.
no water in it.
I know, absolutely.
But it just craves.
Yeah, and most people mistake their thirst for hunger, or their thirst for wanting a soda or whatever. So some water that you drink, the molecule is so large that it'll pass through your system before you get the benefit of it. This being ionic, it goes straight to the cellular level. So when you hydrate at the cellular level, you detox at the cellular level as well. And a lot of the cravings go away. I've not had a soda since I've been drinking this water, and that's been about a year. And I'm telling you, it's amazing because I used to drink 5 or 6 sodas every day.
Well, my son brought over, it was my husband's birthday yesterday, and so he brought some. So I thought, well, I used to just, oh man, to get a Diet Dr. Pepper or even a regular Dr. Pepper, and I tasted that and it didn't taste right. It didn't taste good.
I bet it was stronger too.
It felt stronger too.
Yeah.
And I thought, what happened to these drinks that I used to love and crave?
Oh yeah, that's right. But see, your body's hydrated, so it's not a place for it.
No.
And I remember my father, like if corrosion built up on the battery, he would take a soda, take a Coke and pour it on, and it would, just get rid of the corrosion.
Just eat the corrosion right off of there.
And I'm a young kid, and I would, ask Dad, can I have the rest of it? And, I'd drink it, and tears come to my eyes because it burned going down, and that's the reason, is that it is very acidic. And, that is keeping our bodies in balance is the key to health. I mean, keeping your body in balance, your body, if you keep it in balance, it can do a lot of the work itself. And that's what we teach people.
And so I see that name looks strange on there, X00MA, XOOMA. So how do you pronounce that?
Zuma.
Zuma.
Yeah, Zuma Worldwide.
Zuma Worldwide, okay. I know about Zumba, the exercise, and Zoomers are the people that are over the people that are your age. I'm a Zoomer, so I do Zumba for Zoomers and now Zuma for my water.
Yeah, absolutely, because that is, I tell you what, an alkaline.
You can even cook with that, I guess.
Absolutely. In fact, you never want to consume any water without this product in it. I'm just telling you, because that's the big secret to weight loss. It's the big secret to overall better health. It's the big secret to regulating your blood pressure, blood sugar, you name it.
So that's exciting. So you have a wife and children, and
Absolutely.
we forgot to get into that.
Yeah, my wife is Margaret. We've been together for over 20 years, and I've got actually
probably going to work now, so you just stay
absolutely.
with her.
And I've got 2 daughters and 1 son, and a little grandson. My daughter in Memphis. I've got a 1-year-old grandson, so we're real excited about that little.
Who would ever believe Denson Taylor was a grandfather?
Well, hey, I'm 45 on February 27th.
All right.
Yes.
We won't say what age I'll be on February 11th.
Well, I'll put you at 38, 39.
There you
You're right
go.
behind
There
me.
you go. Until my daughter reached that age, and I had to go up a couple of ages. Well, what I want to say, and it'll probably be too late this week, but they can give us a call. Why don't we can use my number? I have a toll-free number, 877-823-6886. And Thaddeus Brooks usually puts that on the program. But do you have a number you would like to give out for them?
No, I want them to just take your number. And I tell you what, if you call about this particular product, we've got another product you have to try called Focus Up.
Oh, yeah, remember the years of Focus Factor? This is
Absolutely.
better. And you know what it does? Gives you mental clarity. My grandson's in college now, my little grandson. He grew up so big. But it gives him mental clarity to pass. He almost made straight A's. He just made one test that he didn't make an A on.
Yeah.
But he's even better mental clarity now. So we're believing that will help in, I even heard you or someone say that it could help in people not getting Alzheimer's as quickly, or maybe not
Absolutely.
at all.
It's brain health. It helps in that protection. I'll tell you another thing. Dr. Cal Smith is dedicated to children, and we've seen attention deficit disorders, Asperger's. We've seen it help that tremendously.
And you can learn more by coming to our website, and we'll give you the additional website that if you get in the Zuma Worldwide, XOOMA Worldwide website, put in the code Dr. Bonnie, and you can learn more about that. Denson Taylor, cuz, thank you. He's going to Rainbow School now and a lot of different places while he's in the great state of Alabama.
Absolutely. It's great to be here.
I'm Bonnie Libhart with Denson. Bless your heart for watching.